Congressman Khanna bringing more attention to the Epstein files as he read aloud the names of these 6 people that he and Thomas Massie say are likely incriminated in the files.
The Democrat from California is one of the co-authors of the Epstein Files Transparency Act, along with Republican Thomas Massie. Both men have been highly critical of how the Department of Justice has handled the files, saying that there are far too many names redacted.
Now, here was Khanna reading the names on Tuesday.
These men are Salvatore Navora, Zorab Mikoladze, Leopig Leonor, Nicola Caputa, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, CEO of Dubai Ports World, and billionaire businessman Leslie Wexner, who was labeled as a co-conspirator by the FBI.
Khanna previously noted that being named in the files is not an automatic indicator of guilt. And for now, none of these 6 men have been directly accused of wrongdoing. Khanna also directly called out the DOJ and FBI, accusing the latter of scrubbing the files last year to keep names from being made public.
If we found 6 men that they were hiding in 2 hours, imagine how many men they are covering up for in those 3 million files. The Epstein Transparency Act requires them to unredact those FBI files. And yet the Justice Department said to me and to Congressman Massie, we just uploaded whatever the FBI sent us. And guess what? The FBI sent scrubbed files.
This comes as members of Congress are now able to view unredacted versions of the files for the first time. Khanna and Massie both availed themselves of that opportunity. Massie did not read any names from the House floor yet. He did suggest he may do so at some point, calling it the nuclear option.
Meanwhile, Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick admitted to visiting Epstein's island during testimony he gave on Tuesday. He previously told Congress that he cut off all contact with Epstein in 2005, but that claim appeared to be contradicted by email exchanges between the two. Now he says he met with Epstein during a family vacation in 2012. Let's take a look.
Over the next 14 years, I met him 2 other times that I can recall. 2 times. And that is none for 6 years. So 6 years later, I met him. And then a year and a half after that, I met him, and never again.
Lutnick has also not been accused of any wrongdoing with Epstein. He is facing calls to resign because he made misleading statements. Khanna wrote on X, if in Norway the princess no longer has the support to be queen, and if in the UK King Charles is now calling for a criminal investigation into his own brother, then surely in the United States of America, Howard Lutnick must resign. So this was a pretty dramatic moment.
You got
yesterday.
what you wanted.
Right. But here's what I'm still confused about, because Khanna and Thomas Massie said there were 6 people that were highly incriminated, or likely incriminated, excuse me. Likely incriminated was the exact phrasing. And then Khanna read those names. Incriminated in what sense? What do they think is criminal about whatever they did? Is it abuse of underage women? That's what I take them to mean. That sort of seems like what's implied to me. Which, if true, and the FBI, the DOJ had evidence of that going years back and did nothing, that is a huge scandal. But now, we have conflicting accounts, because Pam Bondi said there was a client list. Turned out there was not a client list, or they never released one. A list of people who were, for whom Epstein was procured. Like, this was the central idea of the Epstein myth, right? That he was procuring underage women for other elite men to have sex with. And we've not seen any evidence of that. And Pam Bondi suggested that that was true because she had a client list. I think she just didn't know what she was talking about. Kash Patel subsequently said, we have no evidence of anyone involved with underage persons except Epstein himself and Glenn Maxwell, who helped procure them for Epstein. The procuring was for Epstein. It was not done by Epstein for someone else. Now they're saying there's 6 men who are what exactly? That Sultan character and Wexner, those names Massie did tweet about. And the Sultan, I've read emails between him and Epstein where they discuss women and they're kind of gross. Those emails don't contain evidence that the Sultan character participated in sexual misconduct. So what do they mean by incriminated? I'm genuinely curious.
And I think
what that means.
I think Khanna and Massey are giving the floor to the Department of Justice in their mind to do what they think is the right thing. So, like I said yesterday, they're trying to leave space for the Department of Justice to say these names that they think were intentionally redacted and protected by the FBI, and want to understand the reasoning why. And now that they've said the names and they think that the FBI went out of its way and Kash Patel's team went out of its way to scrub these names from the files intentionally, when they think that they have incriminating evidence against these people that were named, they want to connect the dots for everybody.
Right.
They're looking at stuff and saying, wait, why did you do this?
But
Why
what's
did the FBI
incriminating
say
evidence? What is the crime?
Well, that's what I said. We need to, if we're giving space for people to, like the Department of Justice and FBI, to say it first, maybe tomorrow, Thomas Massey and Khanna will say more. But the fact that they have boldly, and they've taken the charge on this of trying to be the people that continue to push this forward, whether you like it or not. It's a bipartisan team that's pushing this forward. So the fact that they're still moving forward and asking for more answers, they should get the answers that they're looking for. If there's nothing here, then there's nothing here. There'll be even more reason to release everything.
Yeah, I didn't
these
say there's
guys'
nothing
names.
here. This is
No, I'm saying
right.
if they're, why would they go so far as to say likely incriminating, knowing that this could soon turn into an entire whirlwind storm if these people are not actually incriminated, where now you have started to defame their character constantly. You're going on air, you're on X.
Well, so he's on the House floor.
Yes,
Those
I know
names
he's
were read on the
protected,
House
but then he
floor.
also is
They're
on X
protected.
saying some more stuff. So it's like
Right.
you're going pretty far if you don't have some solid evidence there. So because Khanna and Thomas Massey have been pretty transparent throughout their entire process of this, I'm going to continue to listen and follow along with what they're saying and as they reveal things, and just hope that if they're going this hard, that maybe that there is some evidence to back up what they're saying. And if not, then eventually you're going to start saying the same thing in a week. Why haven't you told us what the charges are? Why haven't you told us what the implications are? What these people are, you think that they've done?
Or why don't you tell me, it might not even be in the files, it might be, okay, the victims, tell me what the victims can speak up, or the victims can relay the information to you, and you can speak up about what happened. Who, if these people are incriminated in sexual crimes, their victims, did they pay off the victims? Is that why they're not, because, as I said, there were some settlements. I don't know. That's what we're waiting for.
And some of the people, I didn't know all of them, but some of them that I understand just from understanding who they were are some pretty powerful people. So again, that whole conversation that we had yesterday about possibly getting
Sounds like
sued.
largely foreign people.
Yes.
Not Leslie Wexner is a prominent businessman. That's the only one of these people I had ever heard of.
Yeah.
He's I think owner of Victoria's Secret, or owns the parent company of Victoria's Secret, and has been considered to be an associate of Epstein.
Yeah.
Which again can reflect on your moral judgment of the person, but it's not just associating with Epstein is not evidence of some criminal wrongdoing. Now you could be mad at Howard Lutnick is now being grilled because he said, and all these people said, we've cut off ties. Oh, we did actually meet him later. If that's in your mind, you're like, okay, he lied. He should not be Commerce Secretary. You can have that view. But that is different than there being something to charge.
Yeah, the story's certainly not going away.
Right.
We have a lot to talk about. Stay with us on Rising.